This tutorial provides step-by-step instructions for the application of a total contact cast using 3M casting products. The total contact cast is the gold standard offloading treatment for plantar foot ulceration. Apply this cast after treating the wound. Begin by gathering the supplies you'll need to apply a total contact cast. The size and quantity of materials used in this demonstration may need to be altered based on the size of the patient. Keep your supplies within easy reach during cast application. When finished, the patient's toes will be covered and the cast will extend to just below the knee. Let's get started. Ensure you wear examination gloves throughout the whole procedure. After treating the wound, position the patient's ankle at 90 degrees and the foot in a neutral position. Select the appropriate width of stockinet based on the size of the patient's leg. Then, cut 2 lengths of stockinet long enough to extend from the knee to past the toes. Remember, the stockinet becomes shorter as it widens in diameter. Roll 2 stockinets into donut shapes for easy application. To apply, roll each layer of stockinet over the foot and up the patient's leg to the level of the knee. Care should be taken to ensure the stockinet is smooth and wrinkle-free. If the stockinet is bunching, cut a small hole in it at the ankle to make it easier to smooth out the fabric. Fold back the stockinet to expose the patient's toes. Now it's time to apply the padding. Begin by wrapping 3M synthetic cast padding between and around the patient's toes to prevent the cast from impinging on the toes. Next, take a sheet of 1560M 3M Reston self-adhering medium-density foam pad and cut it in half lengthwise. Trim the half sheet to a length and width sufficient to cover the plantar surface of the foot, from the heel to the tip of the big toe. Remove the release liner from the adhesive and adhere the foam to the stockinet, covering the plantar surface of the foot. Protect bony prominences by applying 3M Reston self-adhering foam roll to the dorsum of the foot and ankle, then continuing to apply up the shin to approximately 1 inch below the fibular head. Cut additional pieces of foam roll large enough to cover the malleoli, and a piece long enough to cover the Achilles tendon. Confirm the patient's ankle is at 90 degrees and the foot in a neutral position. Remember to cover any clothing or surface that you want to protect from staining during the application. Now it's time to apply the 3M Scotchcast soft cast casting tape. The soft cast is flexible, providing for an intimate fit while accommodating muscle shape changes associated with weight bearing. The first half of the cast will be applied without dipping the roll in water. Start by wrapping at the toes and around the foot, working up the leg to approximately a ½ inch below the knee, overlapping each preceding layer by 50%. Next, open and remove a 3 by 35 inch 3M Primacast unpadded splint from its package. Cut a sufficient length of the splint to cover the sole of the foot, from the tip of the big toe to the heel. Place the splint on the sole of the foot. Tape or cast padding may be used to hold the foot pad in place. Use the remainder of the splint to form a stirrup splint. Take care in the placement of the stirrup splint. If it is placed too far back, it will interfere with removal of the cast. Fold the stockinet back at the knee to trim the proximal end of the cast. Now, apply the final layer of casting tape. Dip the roll of casting tape in water. Do not squeeze the roll if the maximum set time of 5 minutes is desired. Simply shake out excess water. For a faster set time of 3 minutes, squeeze the roll 2 or 3 times. Start at the proximal end of the cast and follow the same wrapping pattern as the first layer of casting tape, preceding each layer by 50%. Dip your hands in water and mold the cast, focusing efforts around the foot arch and heel. Rub the cast by placing the flats of your hands on the leg and applying gentle pressure to achieve the correct mold. Continue rubbing the cast until the material has set. Trim the cast back around the toes so they're exposed. Fold the stockinet and then wrap the toes with tape. The cast will set within 3 to 5 minutes and will be fully cured within 20 minutes. The cast should be fit with a rocker bottom cast shoe prior to allowing the patient to walk. To remove the cast, start by using large scissors and cut at the proximal end of the cast, working distally down the leg. When you reach the curve of the ankle, use small shears to cut the cast. Then, simply pull apart the cast and take it off. Thank you for using 3M products.